Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making these adorable crochet doilies. So supplies for this project are easy. You're going to just need some fun yarn. You're going to need a yarn needle, a crochet hook, and some scissors. And as far as crochet hook size goes, just check the back of your yarn. It should tell you right on your yarn. I'm using a medium weight 4 yarn. They should have knitting needle suggestion sizes and crochet hook suggestion sizes. So mine is calling for a 5.5 to 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. So that's what I'm going to be using. But you're going to want to use whatever your yarn recommends. It really doesn't matter what kind of yarn you use. If it's thicker yarn, of course your doily is going to end up larger. If it's thinner yarn, your doily will end up smaller. So you can do whatever you like with this project. I'm going to go ahead and use this medium weight yarn, and I'm using it with an H hook, which is a little bit smaller than what they recommend, but I couldn't find my other one. So it's not actually a huge deal. It just finishes slightly smaller than it would if I were using a larger hook. If you use my same yarn and hook, this one will finish at about 2 inches by 2 inches. So it's the perfect size for my thread spools on my sewing machine. So I have 2, one for my Singer Featherweight and one for my Juki. I think that's everything for this project. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start by making a slip knot, which just means that we're going to make a loop with our yarn, and then we're going to push the tail end through that loop and just pull it out. Okay, so just a basic slip knot, and then we're just going to place that on our hook and just tighten it up, and we're ready to go. Now, you can hold your yarn, of course, any way you like. I like to hold the tail of my yarn with my thumb and second finger here, middle finger. That way I can kind of have my yarn on my first finger, and that just gives me a little bit more control. We're going to start out by chaining 4. So let me get my yarn here. So we're going to chain 1, and a chain just means yarn over and then pull through. Yarn over, pull through, that's 2. Yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through 4. Oops, and I split my yarn. Okay, so now I've got 4 little chains here, and they just look like little V's. So each chain looks like a little V, plus 1 on your hook counts. Next, we're going to just slip stitch into the first stitch on our hoop, on our chain. So put your needle through there, or your hook through there, sorry. Yarn over, and then just pull it through both, and that kind of gives us this tiny little circle. And I'll go ahead and zoom in so you can see that just a little bit better. So now we have this tiny little circle. You can see there's like a center there. We're going to be double crocheting into that center 9 times. So to start off with, we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's going to count as our first double crochet. Now to double crochet, you just yarn over. We're going to go through that center of our loop. We're going to pick up our yarn, so yarn over and pull it through. So now there are 3 loops on your needle. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And that's a double crochet. We're going to do 9 of those all the way around the outside. So yarn over, and we're just going to keep going into the middle of this circle that we have here. So yarn over, go through the middle, pull your yarn through. You've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so another double crochet, yarn over, go through the center, pull your yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around. Now I don't know if you can tell, but I'm actually starting to do my double crochets over my tail. So my tail is kind of back here, and I've double crocheted over the top of it. And that way it's kind of weaving itself in, and I won't have to worry about it later. So I'm going to yarn over, go through my center and kind of through my tail here, pull my yarn back through. So now I've locked that tail in. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'm just doing that all the way around. That way when I'm done, I can just cut my tail off and I don't have to weave it in. And we can count these by kind of pulling them apart. So this right here is 1 double crochet. So we've got our chain counts as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got 10. I'm actually going to do 12. I think I said 9 before. We're going to do 12, sorry. So that's 11, and one more is 12. Okay, so I've got 12 all the way around, and we're just going to slip stitch to join this circle. So in order to slip stitch, I'm just going to go into the top of my chain and just pull my yarn through and pull it through, and then that way we've got this nice little circle right here. Now we're going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna grab some yarn here. And now we're going to single crochet in between each one of our double crochets, and in between our single crochet we're going to chain 3. So we just did our chain 3, and now we're going to single crochet into this first hole. So to single crochet, you just put it through, yarn over and pull that through. So now you have 2 loops, and then you're just going to yarn over and pull through. Okay, so then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to single crochet in the next space. So here was our first double crochet. You can kind of see it right there. We did our single crochet into there. We're going to do our next one in between the next one. So again, to single crochet, you just go in, pull your yarn through, so you have 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through. Okay, I'm going to get my tail out of the way there. Again, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and these little chains are what are making our little kind of petals as we go. And now we're going to single crochet in this next one. So just pull through the 2, chain 3, single crochet into our next one. Okay, and as you can see, we're starting to see our little flowers pop up, petals pop up. So chain 3, and then single crochet into that next space. Chain 3. And we're just going to repeat this chain 3 and single crochet in between each double crochet all the way around till we get to the end of our flower. Okay, now you can see that we're at the end. I've done my last one, and I'm back at my very start. So I've just chained, I've done my single crochet and chain 3, and now we can just join this into the bottom of this single crochet just like we have all the way around to create our last petal. And now we can go ahead and just cut our thread, and then you can yarn over and just pull that thread through and just tighten it, and bam, you're done. Our last step will just be to get a yarn needle and then just weave in this end. We don't really need to weave in this end because we kind of did when we went over it, but if you'd like to, I just find the direction it's coming from and then just go through a few more. And then you can just cut it. So that one's done. And by the way, whenever I'm threading, and I do this with small needles too, I just pull my yarn or thread over my needle and pull it out and then just pop it through the hole. And that works really well with English paper piecing, with knitting, with crochet, any of those things. And then from here, I usually decide which side I feel like looks better. This looks more like the front to me, so I'm gonna go into the back. And you're just gonna find a little path to kind of rotate this thread through, and I'm not particularly specific. I just find somewhere that it's gonna be hidden and tucked in nicely. And you don't have to, there's kind of a knot right there, so you don't have to go too far. I just like to kind of give it a few. I don't know, just go through a few. So like that. Okay, and then I kind of just stretch it out to make sure it's not tugging anywhere, and then just trim off that thread. And there we go. We have a fun little doily, and these are perfect for your sewing machine spools. Of course, you can actually keep going and just make it bigger and bigger. Just make sure that you're putting more, I would do a single crochet in the petal and then do 3. And as you get larger, you may need to add more chains. So like maybe in this next round, you would do a chain 4 all the way around, and the next round you might do a chain 5 and so on, just so that your petals will lay nice and flat. But that's it. Super fun and easy, and a little basic crochet tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. That way I know to keep making fun projects for you. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.